Republican Georgia Congressman, member of the House Armed Services Committee, Dr. Rich McCormick joins me. Good afternoon, sir. For starters, President Trump is the king of transparency. So why is this interview with the admiral going to be classified behind closed doors?
If I knew, then I'd be able to tell you, but I'm sure it's classified for a reason. It's probably going to give us intelligence on what those people were doing, why a second strike was merited. Once I have a better idea of what that is, I'm not even sure what I'm going to be able to share with you. Back when we did takedowns of boats on the Marine Expeditionary Units, we had missions that we planned we can't even talk about, we never even executed. So we'll see what the intelligence has to offer us. Hopefully we can declassify as much of it as possible so it seems like we're not hiding anything, because I think that's really important to the American people.
Well, it seems that the mission, I mean, that it was a narco-terrorist boat. And nobody wants those drugs here in the United States. Got it. I think probably everyone agrees on that. The question really is that the whole mission was to destroy or to the imminent threat. But once that boat was blown up, the threat, and two guys are hanging to low wreckage, it doesn't sound like that's much of a threat. So mission accomplished. But then the question is, how long before the second strike? And you have Secretary of War Pete Hegseth saying that he didn't stick around for an hour or two, but it's unclear. I mean, like, how did it come right away? 5 seconds, 10 seconds, an hour later? You know, there's so many unanswered questions, which is why transparency is so important.
Yeah, but the nice thing is we are going to get to the bottom of this. We are going to have a full inquiry. We're going to have a full brief. We'll be able to ask questions and have those answered. I do have great confidence in the naval leadership. I know that these guys are fighting a war. This is a war at the greatest cost of American lives of any war we've ever fought. About 1 million people have died in the last decade. 1 million people. That's more than any other war we've ever fought by far. It's not even close. When you have 1 million people die in a war, there's going to be casualties. And hopefully those people that are dying are evil people that will no longer harass us and try to deliver death to American shores. That's a tall order, and I hope we did the right thing, and I'm looking into it. And I have pretty good confidence, though, that our admiral did the right thing so far. But we'll find out for sure.
What if he didn't do the right thing? What if it's concluded that the imminent threat was over, and that's where it should have stopped? What happens then?
There'll be a full investigation, an inquiry. There'll be the court case. It wouldn't be the first time. I mean, we've prosecuted people in every war we've ever fought in. Sometimes people make honest mistakes. Sometimes they make the wrong decision. But we'll get to the bottom of that, and we'll do the right thing. I believe that.
Well, if there were a mistake, I would consider it to be an honest mistake. But nonetheless, is that the military is rather strict even about honest mistakes. That it's unlike maybe the civilian court system or the civilian system. Honest mistakes have consequences in the military. What about? You're on the foreign affairs. Is this having any reverberation overseas at all? The fact that this happened.
Like I said, I don't think people have a whole lot of compassion for people who are transporting drugs that kill people, that addict people, things that have negative impact, things that are funding murderers and rapists and entities that take over foreign governments. These are bad people. When they die, people don't cry about it. We want to make sure we do it legally, ethically, that we are prosecuting wars in the way we're supposed to. But nobody feels bad for people who are trying to deliver death to American shores.
What is the message to President Maduro of Venezuela, who the United States has indicted? I think in 2020 we have a $50 million bond on his head, and he is said to be the leader of a cartel. What's the message to him on this?
Be careful. You're on thin ice. Your dictatorship should come to an end. Your people, I hope, throw you over, and that you have a free and profitable country in the future, because it used to be Venezuela was an ally of ours. I used to train with Venezuelan Marines. They used to have the second highest GDP per capita in the world. They were a thriving democracy, and look at them now, a dictator who released hundreds of criminals from their justice system, from their jails, rapists, murderers, to come to America on purpose to do harm to us, not just through drug trafficking, but just because they want to get rid of their evil society and put it on us. Shame on them.
And I suppose, I mean, it would be good to put them up as sort of a poster child for socialism, because that is the country that's got the most oil reserves, more than Saudi Arabia. The right south of us, they've got look at that country. There's in runaway inflation. They've got this runaway. Their military is supposedly hooked up with cartels. I mean, look at that country. That's socialism.
It is a great example of modern day. We keep on thinking that you can reinvent socialism. It's like somehow or another it's going to work in the future. That communism all of a sudden has become a useful tool of the government. The government is the answer. It's the problem. The government will never replace God, never replace community or churches or families. It was meant to be on the sidelines. America got it right when they put it in service to the people, that the people would be more powerful than the government. Once you reverse that, it always becomes a problem, and they're the poster child from that problem.
Do you expect President Trump to do more rather than just interfere and eliminate the narco-terrorist threat in these boats? Would you expect that there would be an effort to put boots on the ground or even take other military action within Venezuela?
He's a man of his word. He's said he's prepared for that. I hope we're very careful about that. I think they're prepared. I think they're going to be very much executing guerrilla warfare, booby traps. I'm very concerned about losing American lives, so I hope it's very tactically proficient, very singled out targets, and that we do it with minimal jeopardy to our American lives. I think that's really important. I think we also need to address the demand for these drugs too. We need to teach our kids from the time they're in grade school that when you buy drugs, you're supporting terrorists, you're supporting rapists, child traffickers, human traffickers, people that would overthrow government for just a profit. When you teach kids that, they won't think it's worth it to become high. They don't believe they can die. Kids don't think they can overdose, but they understand evil. And buying drugs results in evil things around the world.
Yeah, and of course, human trafficking is a big business coming out of Venezuela. That we talk about the drugs, but very little attention is given to that, and it's a huge business. Congressman Rich McCormick, thank you, sir.